We are live.
Hi guys, welcome to the second Patreon form review session of the month. As always, if you're like, what is this? And you stumbled upon this and you're not one of the people getting your form reviewed today, well, how do you do that? We have a $15 Patreon tier. It guarantees that you will get your form reviewed once a month. Your option of when you submit it, either to the first session or the next session. Next month, it's going to be the 16th and the 30th. So if you like what you see here and you're like, hey, I'd like a little bit of direction, well, go ahead and submit it. Also, before we have people popping up here, let me show you some goodies. Come here. Just befuddle your eyes. These are all slow motions that we were able to get at World's Distance Comp, Disc Golf Pro Tour, and DGN accepted us, expedited our application even to the content creator affiliate program that they have. So we were able to get all of these juicy slow-mos. So, of course, we have to give them a big thanks because this is just like, as Mikey said, we're like disc golf rich now. It's like, what more could you want than all of this slow motion footage? Not only that, but we've got more coming because he set up on hole 2 and hole 6, or for sure hole 2, Mikey?
Yeah, 2 and 6.
2 and 6 at New London. So we're even going to be able to compare their distance form to their like gap hitting form. So
Bowling on the way.
On the way, yeah. So lots and lots of goodies that the that DGN has allowed us to capture. So big thanks to them and our new best friend Charles, overseeing the program. This doesn't replace being there in person. Like, you should show up in person, but it'll get you closer. Is that not just the cleanest slow motion video you've ever seen? It is. It is. For disc golf, right? It's the best of the best. All right, Discets and Gravy. Am I hearing my audio come through somewhere?
Not anymore.
Okay. Good. All right, let's see what you got. That plastic looks like it feels good. Dang, brother, Q stacking up.
Yeah.
Okay. A little backwards here, and you're over-exaggerating your last step because you're backwards. Right, so this is super staggered for your line that you're going on. We want to get that X step less turned around here. So you got to keep your right hip going forward. You're doing a hop here, which I don't mind hops in general, but the reason that you're doing a hop is because you've run out of flexibility and you're trying to turn backwards, right? So your body's trying to find a way to get this foot back. So we should be able to get through this X step without hopping.
Something just break.
It flickered.
We're good though, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So here is where you need to get through. not turning during this X step that you've got going on. So it needs to be side on, side on. And then you can turn your shoulders back. So again, we've got to get here, side on, side on. So working this step, and this step is very simple. If you just start here and without focusing on the coil, just go here. So no turn, right, to get that down. Here. It's because we don't like you, Cam. That's why you weren't added to the queue. Here, here, here. Right? That's what you need to work on. Then when you add the turn to it, this foot might turn a little bit more back versus open like you're doing, but you're definitely not going to stride out this way, right? So that's the point of this first little part of the drill here. Is just go here, here, and it's just this side step. There's no diagonal step here. It's not here, 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 right? We want your momentum going that way. Here, here, here. With a turn, you end up looking something like this, where we want to go, right? So with the turn now, there. Right, that's going to help your coil. And then after that, we'll work on your pull through here.
Hold up.
Okay.
Let's see. Where's the issue? Can you just ask everyone if the stream's okay? Because it's saying error, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming.
Is the stream okay, guys?
So it might just be an error up there.
Sweet. Okay, questions on that? Biscuits and gravy? Don't turn here. Wait until your left foot gets down, then turn. Yes. And then once that's fixed, then come back, because then we got something else to work on afterwards. Okay.
Biggest cube we've ever had.
Well, look at it. Should I slow down? Oh, it's actually his cam off. I was looking for T less traveled. I should have just looked for him. The forehand. Wee. That's tough. Tough to get from this position. Apparently, it can be done.
Would you like me to expedite Jeremy Bowling's or the other forehand? Swap over real quick?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Just checking.
The point I will make is the same. So instead of being here, and I'm giving you a caveat because I've seen forehand form that Mikey showed me yesterday and was like, well, isn't this what you're saying not to do? And I'm like, that's exactly what I'm saying not to do. And it's of like Chris Clemens. And it's like, I don't know how he does it, but it's tough. And obviously he throws forehands really well. So you could tell me, Josh, you're full of crap. But I'm going to hold to my guns on this one. So instead of being here in your prep, you need to be here, externally rotated. I can use fancy words with Cam. Right. Here. So that when you move your body forward, you're automatically in stretch so that you don't have that room to externally rotate and then it whip back. So not here with your hand at the 3 o'clock, get your hand up towards the 12 o'clock in your prep. Right? And just like baseball, when you start when you start driving the body forward, then your elbow will slot. So, but you want it to slot after being pulled. You don't want to go and push it forward and force the slot and externally rotate into the slot. You want to go already externally rotated, body goes forward, and you slot it. Versus there, where you're forcing it with your arm. See how you have to spend this time here externally rotating? So just start in that position. Then drive. Then get your belly button forward. And do all the kinetic chain stuff. Yeah, correct. We should have got Evan's forehand.
Oh, yeah.
He's like picture perfect.
Picture perfect.
Picture. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even if you have to start it there and just keep it there until you go, till you get it down. Oh yeah. Whoa. Got a little sun. Hello? Oh, there he is. Whoa. Is it on? One? Whoa. It's super slow-mo. Well, we have to watch it. We can't speed it up. Even though we have the tools. Waiting. Waiting for his moment to strike.
540 FPS.
545,600 seconds. 34. It was only 34.
That's really super slow.
Boom. What's the more pressing problem? Not crazy about that. And then that's happening because of the opening, but you'd be closing instead. Yeah. Okay. So you got two problems that are connected, I think. One, backwards X step, right? That turns your hips back. Whoop. So they're back that way, right? Well, it is encouraging your body to open up and to get into this position and have them turn back forward more, right? Which is collapsing pockets and things like that. So lots of like little problems here. So let's really focus on the proper walk up. So let's start here. So Lefty, am I too far forward here?
Nope. What? No, you're good.
Okay. So your first step, it's good. You got this flare step here. Your next step is too straight, actually. Your left step needs to come a little bit across your foot so that from in front of me it would look like this. Correct step that you already have. Now here, you're currently doing this. You need to do this and create a little stagger here before going through your X step so that, as you can see here, now my right leg can come through clean. If I have my flare step and I put this step here instead, even if it's oriented correctly, I can't go straight through. I have to go around, which is going to cause me to turn back early on my X step. So from there, either I don't uncoil and I'm super staggered and super across my line, which is really tough, or I have to open up a little bit and get my feet kind of in a good position in reference to one another, but the problem is that you're swinging open here, right? So instead, take this step, and I'll do it both ways for you, but take this left step and give it that a little stagger so it's in front of the right. So now we can get through without turning our left hip away from the target. So we're there, and now we can turn our shoulders away. Right? So from behind, where can they see my feet, Mikey? How about here? Okay. Okay, so first step here, second step across a little bit. You still want to step forward, but create the stagger. Now through. Now turn. Right, so now I've got all this space. I didn't step across my line. I didn't open up here and pinch off my pocket consequently. So that's what you want to change. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version again for your replay. Forward step like you're already doing with a little flare. Now you're going to side on with a little stagger. Straight through. Now turn the body. That's what you're going for. Okay, from your perspective or from side on perspective, it's flare step, turn with stagger, straight through, coil. Just grind that out until it's second nature. What is first nature? You ever think about that? Disc Junior. I guess first nature would be turning around backwards in your X step. Boop. I did click play. Whoa. That's a very straight right step. Oh, okay, I got it. I see. It's a good place to have a straight right step. Okay, a bit of a turn here with the hop. Okay. Decent, decent, decent. Now let's find the things that are wrong with it. Oh, it's pretty good. I'm sure we could find something. The angle is a little tough. to get through. But here you're collapsed with your pocket, yeah. You don't really have that, like no elbow drive. You've obviously like worked on brace timing and pull through timing, so I'm sure that like it could be a hair better. But yeah, the position that you've got to get through. Woo! Here, be a stork. Okay, here we go. See here how he's able to get his elbow out in front. Here. You're coming out of like your left pec here. And he's able to get like a nice, show me this angle. Come on. Huh. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. That's not right.
Definitely is.
You think his pocket is 123?
His elbow is more bent than Burrell's.
I'm talking about here. Oops. Here.
Right. I think it's close.
Yeah, he just comes out too early.
So the biggest difference is his back shoulder to me, not his front shoulder.
Well, that's attached. So you're going out from your left shoulder. Disc. So you're coming in here. You're like meeting your left shoulder. Your like left pec. And then you're going out from there. Instead, leave your trail side back, leave your back shoulder back, and send your right hand past your shoulders if you can. And try to get through here. Instead of them kind of like joining here, boom. Here and then out with the shoulder continuing to go. Here. Freeze the left side. And go through a bit more with the hand. Try to pat the hand a bit more through. How far are you throwing? Seems like you got decent speed. Is that just because he's going super hyzer? Yeah, AB's going big hyzer there. Huge elevation drop, flipping something over. Yes, decent speed. If you can chill with your left side and get your right hand through, that's kind of like the next part of your form, I think. So watch how quiet the first we'll go with your left side. See how your left side is just like turning. Your whole torso kind of turns forward. Eyes turn forward, like you're just basically everything moving forward together. like that. And now watch AB. Tucks. Look where his left hip stays. So he's keeping his whole left side back, left hip, left shoulder, left leg, not opening up, right? Or very slowly. You're just kind of all twists in, your knees twisting in, this hip's coming around here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And your eyes like are twisting forward. See here how it's all twisting? So you get in this position. Let me go back to Anthony's. Right, see how his logo's facing us? His like belt buckle's facing us. It's all still here. He's still side on. Right. Lets him get past that instead of just kind of bouncing off of that left side and it like all moving together. He goes past it with the right hand. Here's a crazy thing. Watch this. Watch when his left hip comes around. It like doesn't. He decides, I'd rather jump forward on my right leg and swing my left hip around. I would rather die first than have my left hip come around. Yeah, if you're gonna use it for timing, then that's fine. And some people will use like your form. We're gonna find out what the footage reveals, but my opinion is that form like yours is probably easier to, like, people will tend towards that side of the form equation for more accurate stuff, right? And they'll tend more to stopping the body and breaking the shoulders, breaking the hips, all those things when you're trying to get a bit further. So what you've got to learn to do is when you throw, so from back here, keep this left side back. There. Not all of it moving forward together. So yeah, so it's pretty simple in terms of like how you practice it. It's just your back, leave this back. You can even keep the left arm down. Just leave it there, and then you speed it up and let this swing through after in the follow through.
How about the double cheese crap turkey, baby? And he ain't never around.
Right.
I think Turkey's got something to say about keeping the left side back.
Girthy does have something to say about keeping the left side back. Yo, I think actually that like habanero stuff
Messed you up?
kind of messed me up a little bit.
Yeah, you do. Something.
I was like grinding through lessons yesterday. I was like, bro, I'm glad I don't have any hour-long lessons because that would have been rough. What's up, Carson? I guess you made it, huh? Guess you made it to West Virginia. Sean? Hailing from P, Texas. Okay. I don't like how heelward you stay here. You have like a little roll, but you're like rocked back. The posture is very like upright. All right, let's see. I would say to pick your favorite person, but it won't get back to me in time, probably. Unless it will. You had like 10 seconds here? Okay. Well, let's go with Albert. Tom. Tom. So look at how over it he is. See how over the shot he is? Over the shotty. Over the shotty he is.
The shotty.
So over the shotty. See how upright you are here? We really have to create. Yeah, more on the ball of the foot, for sure. Kind of this like carry the football position. And I don't know if somebody like had a video about that or something, but in my mind, somebody mentioned carrying a football one time, and that's all I can see now. But it's kind of like that posture, right? You're over it. I envision kind of Nicolas Antila, right? But even like here, for example, you see this? How he's already created this space here that he's over top of, like you're carrying a big medicine ball. Right here. Right, so be like, control this space, be over it. And then maintain it. That's going to get your butt out instead of underneath you. Right? We don't want to lift something heavy from here, right? Make sure you only use your back. Like, get over. Maintain the space. And then when we coil, look how kind of athletically loaded this is. So that's the big thing. Because you're upright, you've lost your space. And now, even striding kind of forward, you get stalled out here. Like playing back towards the heels in this position, which is not really a good like throwing position. Here, over. Now you have all this room to pull your hand through, to move the disc through. Yes, sir. Right, that position later translates to here. Right, that being over it. Where he's got this nice kind of drop of the right side into that space. Yeah. Do your best Niklas impression. When you're in your athletically loaded stance and over the disc, how do you throw a flat release? I feel like you're always going to throw hyzer bend over that far. Well, I don't have time to go over all that, but what you need to know is that everybody's throwing their flat shots from that position. Here's Simon's body position. Look how over it is. If you had to guess the angle, the line that he was going to throw, what would you guess? Amateurs would all guess hyzer, like massive amounts of hyzer. Oh, look, he did throw hyzer. Well, that's a baby hyzer. And look, the disc goes flat. So this is how they throw flat shots. I mean, that is as straight as it gets. You don't want to throw flat, you want to throw straight. So flat is a myth. Chased by many amateurs, keeping them sequestered in their
Flat is Anheuser.
form dungeon. Yeah, flat comes out as a Anheuser. A lot of Annie. 5 degrees hyzer for me is actually an Anheuser, and I found that that's the way it is for a lot of people. Okay, who's next? Niminas is saying.
Who's the one to jump at you? I said I'd let you decide, but it seems unfair to me. Because the other guy's been waiting.
Okay. Fusca, I'm also following this while driving car to competition. So then I'd have to I'd have to put cyanide up too. Yeah.
I think it is what it is.
Yeah. It's gotta be what it is.
Don't even, like, the other guys, they may not even say anything and like be like, well,
Right.
I've been waiting.
Right. Why?
Just 'cause they're talking.
Okay. It would be up to the guys who are in front of you to all 4 of them, all 3 of them be like, nope, he can go right now. So I'll wait. I'll give it 10 seconds. Find by marked words. All right, you have the favor of the people. Okay, trying to keep my elbow up and away from my body. If I try to push the shoulder out too hard, it makes my shoulder really sore. Well, I would say don't do that. In a sort of unhealthy way, I would say don't do that. But maybe it's just too weak, even for the next few days. Maybe the body is just not used to that. First clip is max distance shot. The second is just focusing on the shoulder and elbow. Any tips? I'm using the mental cue of pushing the shoulder out and getting the disc to my bicep armpit in the power pocket. So for me, out is a natural consequence of internally rotated, right? If you go here, it's not going to be out, right? If I flip this here, it's going to want to go in. But if I go like this, my shoulder is going to press out. naturally. So I think you're just looking for space, like we just saw with Albert Tom. So create that space, and not everybody's super exaggerated, right? You just want to create space, and to whatever degree depends on the person, right? So you got to listen to your body. So maybe some people, they need to create it like Niklas, and they need to be here, and that's better for them form-wise, and it doesn't hurt them. Maybe some people it's just here, kind of like Simon, a little bit in, but it's not like crazy. So that's what I would say first is, and you might need strength there. I'm not saying you don't, but it's not as like you don't have to be so much a stickler for the rules here, or like an ideal. Yeah, you don't have to be such an idealist is what I was trying to say. Okay, what you do need to do though is keep the left side back more. This is all moving much too forward, much too early. I'm just mixing it up with who I pick. Oh, Gavin Rathbun. He's definitely getting some screen time today. That stuff is clean. Yeah, it's not hard to get there. Right, you go here. You put your arm out like this. You bend it. And you're good to go. Maybe you decide you want to go here. That's okay. But it's just fist bump. Break it in. Good to go. Height can change. What you don't want to do is go palm up. Like gimme. In. And now you're here. Right? With your hand up above your elbow. So it's not super complicated. Straight out. Bend it. Maybe go down if you have a hard time with your elbow dropping. Okay. So let's talk left side. Left side. Aside. Left side stays back. Left side stays back. So at the hit, you want to be side on. So we're back here, boom. If you're Gary Girthy, your hand's like this. From here, the left side just goes, like the left hand just goes into the body. There is no forward move with it. Sorry. Technically, there is a forward move. That's the tuck, right? It just tucks in, doesn't rotate forward. It is here, in, here, in, and this left side stays here. Here, in. Leave it there. Leave it there. Don't look at your target. Don't turn your chest to the target. Don't turn your left hip to the target. Keep it here. Keep it side on. Back. Anchor. Throw. Back. Tuck. Throw. Back. Tuck. Throw. Then we try to make that one move. Here, tucking and throwing. Here, tucking and throwing. Here, tucking and throwing. It takes a lot of effort to hold that back. But you must. Okay, I think we got in under your time limit, maybe. Peace out. Have fun with the children. Okay. Nimana, nimana, nimana. Nimana, 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 yeah. Nimana, 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 yeah. Nimana, 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 yeah. Okay. Okay, I guess. Okay, good to go. Here, you've got to drive this right shoulder back. You're just getting really pinched here. So you got to really get this right shoulder going. All the way back to give you your space. Doing a lot with the arm on the backswing, not a lot with the shoulders. And then you have to wait until this foot goes down to throw. Which actually you did fairly well. It would be a bit easier. Well, that's good news for you because it's going to be a bit easier for you when you have your coil good to maintain this timing that you're trying to get with the brace. So here, turn the right shoulder, turn the right shoulder, turn the right shoulder, and get the left shoulder back. Did Gavin do a 360? I don't think so. Did many people do a 360? Now, to be noted, he is throwing a little bit like towards us probably because they probably went throw it out to the left, let it turn, and then come back. But yeah, so he's going to look more coiled than he is in relation to his line, but still. He's got this left shoulder really turned towards his line, this one really off his line. So I think you've got more coil here that you need to use. That's also going to help you not flare this foot forward and not have your hips like sprawled. Dude. So when you're here and you do your little hop, I'm cool with the hop. You got to get there with the shoulders. All the way back with the right shoulder. Really push this left shoulder towards the target. Right? That's going to help you close this too because your shoulders are attached to your core, which is attached to your hip. Right? Which is attached to this right knee. Yeah, that foot, that's going to consequently be turned as long as you let it, right? As long as you're not actively going like this whoosh, and opening up, it will turn back if you focus on getting these shoulders turned all the way back because it's gonna pull your core, gonna pull your hip back, gonna pull the leg back. So then you'll end up something like this.
Wow. That's messed up.
That is messed up. You have to Ask for him. Ask for Dakota. Come on, chat. I'm counting on you. So yeah, big shoulder turn here. Gonna start pulling that back. You're failing me, chat. You're failing me.
Sure, something. Hey, we'll chat about what.
Dakota, chat's calling for you. Here they are.
Dropped it?
We didn't say that. Here he is.
Greetings and salutations. I'm just here for
The adulterated glory.
the glory. That's the word. Definition, it is a word.
When I've tried more coil, Dakota's okay. He's right there. You saw him.
Okay.
There he is. Yeah, when I've tried more coil in the past, I feel like I'm messing up my timing. Of course, it's going to screw up your timing. Like your brace timing is not that bad, despite you uncoiling, but you're going to have to work on what the new timing feels like in reference to your plant with better coil. So, yeah, the timing is going to get messed up, and that's okay. Just something to work through, or could it help if I start with shoulders already more coiled on a run-up? I would not start with your shoulders more coiled on the run-up. I would just coil them more at the same time that you're already starting to coil them.
Gotta make do for our boy in the UK.
Oh, my.
We
That's nice.
we deliver to the UK.
Yeah.
This is a good time to plug the shop. We do deliver overseas, so if you want something, we got it.
Well, I mean,
Okay, so this is confusing to me. This right here is just a fundamentally bad drill. I would not do this. This back hip firing forward. So this position that you're drilling to get into just does not happen.
Yes.
So this is the position that you should be practicing. Yeah. Noted after filming it. Yeah. And this is a good teaching moment of, I see people do stuff like this all the time, where they're practicing, where they're drilling something like this before they throw, and they're just drilling the wrong thing. They'll be right. And it's that's not where people are getting. So if you want to practice, usually pro tour people practice a couple different ways on the tee pad. I see this one a lot. this one, where they're trying to get this arm tucked and drive the elbow. I see that one, and I see this one, where they're up here, boom, and they'll go like this. Right, which is much different than turn and throw. Or you could say spin and throw. So that they do. So both of those are pre-shot routines that I see, depending on what the pro's like working on. If they're working on really planting, obviously, and they're trying to make sure that they get solid and brace, they'll do something like this. And they'll do this kind of page pierce, elbow drive thing, or they'll go there, right? So, but the twist, and I would remove your, see how your toes down here before you start doing it. Whoop. And then it's like, whoop. It's like a little toe twisty, hip twisty. So, don't do that. Change that practice to here. If you're trying to feel where you're aiming, maybe there or here. Get wrecked, Birdman. Okay, so now let's look. Yeah, so to me, you just got however many bad reps. So it's really important that those ones before you throw are good. Yeah, and then over-rotated when you went forward. Right. It's not like a horrendous amount of over-rotation. It's not like the worst I've ever seen or anything. Well, that's definitely a good bit forward. Yeah. You know what I would take in the cue, Mikey, is I'd take one of those hole 2 shots in the reference content with someone else who's like on this.
Like, you afraid to look through, and I haven't seen a difference, but
Okay.
if you want me to do it anyway, I'll do it.
I just want one if you got it.
Sure.
Yeah. Someone like a Silas or someone, you know. You'll know who to pick. So, yeah, the left side's going just a little bit forward. Need to remember that I used... Oh, you need to remember that I used to backstep my X-step last month. Sweet.
You want Hammett?
I'll take Hamas. I'll take whoever's available. I mean, that's pretty good there. Yeah, if you're used to rotating on your back step, on your X step, then it makes sense that, you know, you're having a hard time like quieting it down. It also just makes sense that it's tough to quiet down.
Okay, real talk, they're all the same. Do you want Thomas
Ezra, Eagle,
I'll take Adam.
Adam.
Should I try to keep my left arm behind my body like AB does? Where it goes is not necessarily the most important thing, but I would say that the feeling of where AB's is at is a great feeling. So the thing that they're trying to do is this sucker's trying to move forward, right? And they're trying to do what they can to make sure that that doesn't happen, that it doesn't just go forward. So if that's, I see people and like sometimes they naturally go like this and it's here and they try to keep it back that way. I see people behind like AB or Eliezer or Garrett Gerthy. And I see people just tucked here. The important thing you're looking for is the arm is tucked up against the body, not like this, right? But tucked. And that your back shoulder stays back. So sometimes I have people use this with caution, of course, but I just want to see from here. Okay, let me try to keep this weight in place. Basically, I'll go with the coil. Kept it in place. So, and that's, got to go for everything. It feels kind of like a rod here. So like my whole left side is almost anchored.
I got him in there. So don't say I didn't warn you.
What? That's exactly the same?
It's just not gonna be what you expect, but
You beware.
Oh, what do you mean?
you'll see.
Next shelter for him.
Is it not helpful? I mean, I'm not like needing to be kept in the dark here. Oh, it's not even here.
Oh, it will be. It's there now.
Ah. Oh. I forgot about this up top thing. Oh,
Right.
that is more comparable than I thought it was going to be. I've been saving my viewing of the hole 2 because we're going to do a video on distance form compared to like accuracy form on tour. Because there's been like talk like, yeah, you know, distance form is one thing, but like tour form is totally different. In my mind, it's like, it's probably not that different. It probably goes more to the rotational, right? But hello, look at this. This is like on hole 2, which for Adam is not a far shot. I mean, unless he's trying to get 500 off the tee.
You can tell his brace his brace is different to help power down.
Yeah. He's a little squishier on the front leg.
Yeah.
He's still stopping the rotation, right? Boom. Dang, he holds that thing in his offhand? Get it, son. That's cheating. I'm gonna just, hey, new on-course training tool. Just hold this on your tee pad to keep your left side back. Yes, less hip rotation, less shoulder rotation. That's great. I mean, it kind of spoiled some of the video for me, but, you know, I needed to see it because I had the information here and you guys are asking questions, so I got to make sure I'm not spreading falsities. Wow. I mean, look at it. It's not, that ain't nowhere on the rotational side of things, on the spinning side of things. And with the angle he's throwing, He does kind of throw those, like, he must have thrown it like, this must have been an Anheuser with something beefy.
Mm-hmm.
So he must not have been going,
This is hole 6.
Oh, this is hole 6.
Yeah, some of them are hole 6, some of them are hole 2.
Oh, yeah. I got it. Same thing.
Still both accuracy.
Yeah, same thing. That landing zone is 425. So. Yeah. Yep. Wow, I can't wait to do that video. It's going to be fun. Woo. Go Ace, brother. Get paid. Okay, marked words. Hey, sometimes you have to make corrections on things that you've said, and sometimes you were right. It's nice when you're right. I've definitely been wrong before. My suspicions. Okay, this is interesting. Something feels weird. Okay, hold on. Something feels weird about it. This is one of those situations where my eyes like drawn to something, but I don't know why it's weird yet.
I know exactly what it is.
Feels so leaned back. How is he that coiled already? And his arms like fully extended.
He's doing the opposite of pinching the angle. He's like anti-pinching the angle, which I've done to try to correct my coil.
Right. Well, that's the thing is like how is he so wide there, but also it's kind of like behind him, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like he gets there and then he pinches it now.
Oh, I see. It's because he steps this way first. Because he moves this way. His original line made it look not so staggered. Because he's stepping here first. And then he steps off of it. So that's like a really far back step. And now he moves back this way. So like where he came from ends up being kind of like really staggered. And that's how you could get back there, I guess. Yeah, like visually it didn't make sense to me. Because you were here, and then you stepped here, but off of the line. And so now when you go to coil, you're already here, but you have a lot of travel time left. So you're like super wide at the shoulders. Yeah. And so you're kind of backwards a little bit. You're like wide rail, but backwards. Right? We're describing the same thing, Mikey? The footwork setup. Right.
But what made it look weird was a combination of his footwork, his run, and his arm being so, like he's taking it back.
Yeah, he's
literally like this. Like he's taking it back like this.
Right.
Instead of like going back here, he's going like that. But then pinches it. So that's what looked weird to me.
Yeah, because your like angle back here is so wide. But the reason was it's like direction from this side view. It made it look like how did you get extended so early? Yeah. So off of your initial line, your walk up looked like you were just going to go here. And then if your next step was in line, which would be here instead of here, like falling back off of it, like you've got too much of a stagger coming through your X because you rock back a little bit like that. And now your new line would be this way. But you're like kind of back already. Here, yeah, so your next step should be doesn't look like crazy over staggered though. Oh, because you unload here to get back to like normal. So you were turning your hips back here, hips back here. And then by the time you hit, your hips are back here. Interesting. So let me just look at the hips here. Right hip forward. Right hip is still kind of forward. Really turned back. Unturning. That's crazy. Yeah, so you're here. Here. Little turn. And then you go turn. Unturn. With the hips. If you continued turning, you would have been over staggered. But you fixed that by unturning. And since you were turned back there, you actually got super behind you and got your shoulders in this position. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah. Whatever it is, let's just talk about where it needs to go. It is weird to me, like fascinating to me in some like way that you can't stop looking at it. But what we're looking for here is once you get here, good to go, right hip forward, good here. Now you've got to spend the rest of this time just going straight kind of back with your shoulder and let your hips turn back. Don't try to do too much with them. Right, so don't try to go, boom, I got to get my hips back and force that. Instead, just get the shoulders back and let that, like if I just stand here and I just turn my shoulders back, my hip's going to go back a little bit. Right, so that's what you want, is you want to spend the time turning the shoulders back and allow the hip to go back. So right now you're doing like a little extra sauce on it. You don't need to do that. Here, you're good. Now from here, just turn the shoulders back and try to get your back toward your target. Try to get your right shoulder away from your target. Like directly away from your target, not like out from your target. You don't want your back shoulder going here and then having to go back there. You just want basically backwards. In this position, right? And then you need to finish in that position instead of going here and then unloading out of it with the lower body. Does that make sense? You think so? Okay. Well, I'll just give you one more summary of the steps here. So do your walk up, start normal. Get here, you're good to go. So we're just going to stay side on, shoulder, hip, side on. Side on again. It's okay if it turns a little bit. Now here, I just want you to turn your shoulder back and drive your shoulder that way. Like just back and maybe slightly right instead of really right. Like instead of totally diagonal, like 45 degrees off here, drive it 179, right? Not a full 180 maybe. So side on with these. And now shoulder is going to go back. If the hip turns back, it turns back. It's fine if it turns back a little bit. We don't want to, we just want to turn the shoulders the whole time. Boom. And if we do that the whole time until our foot plants, then the hip will stay back as well. Do less with my hips and feel the coil in the shoulders. Yes. Yeah, your hips are too active there. You just need to let them get tugged back by the shoulders. Glitched my brain out for a second there. I was seeing things that were technically in the correct place visually from side on, but not correct. It's like when you start staring at an AI video. It's like, why are there 3 hands? Okay, now it's Birdman. I already did Birdman. Where is Birdman?
Good call. Where's Birdman? Who's Birdman? Birdman has a different name. He's one of the other guys. Currently checking right now.
Okay.
See if there's Birdman.
Gonna go with Robo Rob.
Don't do that.
I am Birdman. Well, until you find it.
I find it's coming. It's somehow still through the cracks. It's gonna be there, and if you count to 60, it'll be there. Actually, if you count to 15, it'll be there. Actually, you just count now, and it's there.
That was a lie.
Figure out, if you go out of it to another form, it's not gonna just update by itself. You gotta go to another page. There is no refresh. Not exist. Bless our hearts. Bless our hearts. There it is, right there. Okay. And now. I figure out why on earth he was not in there.
Well, we don't really need to go any further. This is the problem. Right here. Rob was good. Got the nose down, your speed's good. This is going to be problematic though. My hope of staying out ahead of you speed-wise has now diminished. But yeah, you got to fix this backwards move right here. Can't be there, not yet. Selecting this one since I have markups on it that I want to undo. Here's the cross. So you're just a quarter turn too far. So here you're just trying to like stay back, like you're overturned with the lower body, right? But you should be going, boom, turn here. So turn during the last stride. So it's just the way you get into this final position. Yep, you just gotta fix this. Right there. It's not complicated. Not complicated. Just, you're starting here, here, and this is where you're going backwards, right? So you're kind of already favoring a little bit back here with your right step, and then you're really going back. And now you're going here and trying not to unwind. So instead, here, here, still side on, like Tom. Alberta. Then turn. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Bo-do-do. Simple enough. Simple enough. Simple enough.
He also doesn't do a bad job, even with bad positioning.
Right.
Yeah, he like kind of gets out of his awkward positioning,
Right.
similar to like old but different because it's worse.
Yeah. Don't tear a labrum.
Because he ends up being kind of, he just gets in the position early.
Right.
Yeah. Which makes sense as to why he's throwing fast.
Yeah. Hmm. Ah.
Who's this?
Robo Rob.
Rico.
Robo Rob. Yep, don't step this way. Don't step towards us. Keep stepping towards the net.
Feel that.
Yeah, it's easy to get back shoulders wise if you stagger this way because you're more backwards. But you really want to take this step towards the target. And then it's going to feel like way more coil when you get the same amount of shoulder awaydness. Here, here, don't step here. just here, here, towards the target. And we already had a little bit of stagger, right? You brought all the stagger that you need from your X step. So here, stagger already acquired. Through the X step, maintaining the stagger, go here, and I've got stagger. And then if you're lacking in any, the shoulder turn is going to take care of the rest. Here, here, and now I'm going to step that straight towards my target, turn my shoulders, and I carried over the stagger and maybe got just a little bit more. So there. That's what you need. Now, you're probably going to have to work on coiling more, because when you go here and you step this way, I'm naturally already kind of backwards. I'm already here. So any amount of shoulder turn gets me there, which is not very much shoulder coil. So when we go here, now I've got all of this room to coil the shoulders versus just that little bit of bunk to get me fully extended. So take that last step forward and then get big old shoulder turn. Does it make a sense? We don't have a queue anymore? Okay, well, in that case, from the top, Adam, AK. AK-40 Adam. Nice. Oh, got through the X step clean. Let me see what's up here. That's what I thought. So I would get more shoulder turn here first. I need to be able to see kind of your right shoulder. Hello? Oh, there we are. So we're going to take this. Move that back, move the right shoulder forward. That's first thing. Lefty. Here. Don't just stop here with the shoulders. Go all the way there. Getting your left back and your right shoulder has to push forward towards the target. Here, here, big shoulder turn. Right towards the target, left back away from the target. One more time. Boom. Now, other thing, your nose angle hurting you. So when you come through with your shot, right now you're pushing like this and popping your thumb down. You're pronating at the end of this, where you're flipping your thumb underneath. You're moving your palm downwards. You need to move your palm upwards, move your fingers upwards. So instead of pushing down on the disc with your thumb, you're going to push up on the disc with your fingers as you go. It's going to be here at the end. So generally we kind of want to start a little bit palm down a little bit here, come through, flip kind of to palm up. and that will be your motion to go towards nose down. Work on those two things. Oh, I'm not trying to figure you out. I'm just trying to make sure I... The hardest thing is not demoing Lefty, it's making sure I am not... Well, it's not the understanding of Lefty, it's making sure that I demo correctly without showing some like egregious form mistakes.
Honestly, you should just doing righty is actually really good for a lefty because they can just literally mirror your moves, like you're facing each other.
Yeah, sometimes though the hardest thing if I'm demoing righty is sometimes I'll say right when I mean left.
Okay.
And so sometimes it's easier for me just to demo lefty because then I can actually, oh, this is my left arm. Instead of being like, this is my right arm, but it would be their left arm.
Go back to the lead arm, trail arm. We like trailing.
Oh, sorry, who's this? Charles Willard. Charles. Stand still. Ain't no lack of coil. Okay. A lot of it's not bad. So that's good. This is your problem here, the tucking of your elbow up against your body. Little release here. See how the fingers are off the palm? Now it is like a putter, so maybe you want to do that, but if we're talking about drives, your hand would stay closed until after the hit. Well, I was like, let's see. They're so good that, boom. See how well, that's kind of hard to see. But his fingers are like still in the palm here. And then he opens up pretty quickly afterwards. But you definitely want the hand to stay closed. Is Adam front loaded? Anyways, I don't need to solve Adam's problem. But just make sure it rips out. That's the big thing I wanted to say there. Yeah, even through the blur, you can tell there. And then he quickly opens. There. Ooh. Some guys do that. They open up very quickly afterwards. It's like on forehand when guys like, you see them flip their palm over really quick. Okay. Now, the big thing, form-wise, is your elbow tucking. Here, I can zoom in. How about that? Is like dipping in towards your body like this. We really kind of want the feeling of the disc going through the elbow. So instead of being here and dropping here and giving us this like little short arm here, we want to keep and move this disc basically through the elbow so we can get this unfurl like whip thing happening at the end here. And that only happens if we can get our elbow kind of away. Tough to do it here. right? We want it hand on the back of the disc. Keep the hand on the back, on the back, on the back, on the back, on the back. And then, boom, pops out at the end. There. So get the disc going through the elbow. Keep the hand on the back of the disc for a good long while. Instead of moving it slowly to the front. So you're here. Needs to be through the elbow, hand on the back. Adios. Are you not coming to lunch?
No.
Wow.
I am doing my best with this new diet. Everything laid out exactly how I need.
Dang. Well, I'm not going to tempt you.
I am rejecting Chipotle, which I thought I meant.
You're the man, dude.
No, I'm the sad man.
No, be good.
To interrupt, Brickley's back in disc golf, and it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Did you see?
Well, we knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a month ago, I think, he posted a video.
Yeah.
I know, but he's like his first video came out.
I saw that. The DGAF
Yeah.
technology.
And that video came out like a week or more ago.
Why did I just see it today?
Yeah,
I
I
know.
saw it. I saw it a while.
Okay, well, fine.
It's a great video, though.
I'm gone. I
Yeah.
have nothing interesting to say. I'm going home.
Okay, next is HJLDJ.
What? H.J.
He's a young gun with a short fuse. Whoa! Kid got some speed.
He's a blur.
Mm-hmm.
Low frame rate.
Getting blur.
Low shutter speed.
So I would work on your footwork. So this is a little too forward here with your right foot. And then it's way too backwards with this foot. I don't think you need quite this amount of gusto on it. I would try to control your walk up and make it feel similar to this. Even in a distance competition, Albert Dams walk up is a thing of beauty. Look how small that is. This guy's throwing approximately 600 meters. Oh, if he can stay this controlled while throwing 700 meters, then you should aim to be kind of this controlled. The added momentum is not going to be that beneficial. So let's talk about what we want the walk up to be. So your first step, your right step, you don't want it forward like this, because it's going to cause you to start turning back here. So instead, just get your right step, boom, side on like that. Now this next step is going to be mostly side on. It could be a little bit diagonally back, but you definitely don't want to be here. Right? And so this is part of where your momentum comes in. Go slow, side on, go through, little bit diagonally back, and then wind up. So the steps are, let me see which one you start from. So you're starting from the right. Okay, so starting from the right, the steps are straight step, and it doesn't have to be big, straight step, forward step with a little bit of a flare, just a little bit of an angle. And now here, side on, little bit diagonally back, and then coil. So, facing you, looks like this. Forward step, flare, side on, little bit diagonally back, coil. One more time. Here, flare, side, diagonal, coil. Forward, flare, side. He's a little bit forward. But he's like barely diagonal here. Boop. And then back. Or I should say coil. Not a lot of people are straight from there, but Albert Thomas. Let me go one more. Go forward, flare, oh, all the way sideways, sideways again. Oh yeah, he's throwing out towards us a little bit. But yeah. Nice. Yeah, you don't need to bring in this much momentum. Is it okay to have that back foot slightly open but balance still on? Oh, at what point? What are we talking about? Slightly open. What are we talking about? His left foot? Well, his is just neutral, basically.
Oh, back. Yeah, you're saying at what point?
Yeah. After the X step on the last step. Oh,
Oh, like flared forward.
no, you don't want it flared forward. Like, if you're talking true open and flared forward, the answer is no. Well, perfect. You were up next anyways. Kansas. Let's see. I think we worked on the forehand last time, didn't we? Nice. You fixed that position, didn't you? Okay. That's too much bleeding forward here on the left. Too much drift at that point. And so what I mean by that is when your heel is hitting here, your hips should be stopped here. Right, but you go from here and drift all the way up on top of this front foot. So your hip like continue drifting forward. Right, so you have nothing to push against for a long time until here they finally stop, but your arms are already moving. So the sequence is not that good. $700. It's not actually 700 meters Albert Thomas throwing, if you didn't get that, if you're just watching now. But if you're commenting that now, you're probably not even hearing what I'm saying. But yeah, so when this heel hits, so you've got this arm doing better things now, right? When the heel hits, it needs to stop this left hip and it needs to push it back. It needs to be a strong enough stop that your hips don't continue going whoop forward. Because that push off the ground is going to be what makes this hip clear, which pulls this forward, which eventually pulls the shoulder, which eventually pulls the elbow, which eventually pulls the disc. Right now, if it's still going forward, what's pulling the disc? You're just throwing with your arm, right? So you have to get to where this stomp is causing this hip to go back away from the target and opening up like belly button towards the target. And then everything starts pulling on your hand. So now you got to work on the footwork aspect. So this stomp needs to stop your weight, stop your hips from drifting. There. To pull. Be more rigid with the plant, absolutely. The plant is a super solid. You need to get that rigidity. Watch this. Boom. See how his hip stays back? I mean, does not move forward. Does not budge.
Sit here on the boat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a PT, but I think warming up's a good idea. Forehands are hard on the body. They are. I mean, backhand's not the easiest thing on the body either. But yeah, keep the hip behind the front knee for sure. You will kind of want to create like this stiff arm action between your foot and the ground, and just like once that foot hits, you're trying to keep that hip as far away from your front foot as possible. Right, so the only reason I say I'm saying foot versus knee is because this shape right here with that 45-degree like bend in it is known to be very strong. So I don't want you like locking out your leg.
So they do that in pitching.
They land like this. Yeah, they land like this.
I gotcha, and then they press up.
With the bend, yeah, and then press up.
Yeah.
So I don't want him to like
Yeah.
giraffe that thing.
Yeah.
How far is your average forehand, Josh? Far enough. Why does it matter? Why does it matter?
Because depending on your answer, it will change his outlook on Andrew Marweed's form you're showing him.
All right, quote is next.
Well,
If you give me a good reason to answer that question, I'll answer that question. But I just want to know, or I'm curious. It's not a good enough reason for me to do that.
Coil's here.
Quote.
Or his girlfriend's dad. Well,
Yeah, this doesn't look like Sean. I've seen Sean. Sean, why weren't you here on Friday, dude? Weren't you supposed to be here for our Patreon meetup?
Dang, bro. We missed you.
I was expecting you.
Didn't get to see him. Hey!
Oh, you said that. That's right. You became an
That's
uncle.
right.
I mean, you're gonna be an uncle again, probably. But that Patreon meetup in Lynchburg World's probably isn't gonna ever happen again. So, did you really make the right decision? Okay. Little back step into it. I like it. Let's get the shoulders turned though. So when you do this, yeah, I remember reading the chat now. I just like selectively forgot it. Selective amnesia'd it right out of there. Okay, so if we're starting here and we're going to use this as a rock back, the big thing that we need to do here is we need to turn the shoulders away from the target when we step back like this. So forget about just the extension of the arm. If you just kept it here, even on your body, which I'm not telling you to do this, but I'm just using this as an example. If you kept it here and you went back like this, that would be better than going here and having your arm fully straight, but with no shoulder turn, because the shoulder turn is where we create all of our space in our room to move the disc. Okay, so we want to go, if you're going to start here, which I don't mind at all, it's probably more common for people to start back and then rock up and then rock back, but you can certainly start here if that's more comfortable. So if we're here, the move is basically this shoulder turn. So we go back, turn the shoulders. And that turn happens, you can see that my right shoulder is kind of swinging underneath my left shoulder here. It's kind of the posture that you want, is you want to be over the shot. So here, big shoulder turn, and then throw. Shoulder turn, then throw. So get your back to the target. There's another way of thinking about that. Shoulder turn, then sheesh already.
Sheesh already.
Do you have a tilt, or is it okay to be straight like that? A little bit tilt. That's what I was mentioning with the right shoulder going below the left a little bit. That will be tilted. Hey, good stop. Concept of the brace settling in already. Okay. First thing, second, third, fourth. Okay. So don't turn the eyes back yet. Don't turn the body back yet. We can start here with this right. Peace out, Sean. We want to go first step is not turned. Second step, this little cross step, also not turned. So it goes side on, then we turn all in the last step for reasons. So I also want you to set up like kind of like this instead of here with the elbow down, because right now you're coming through kind of like this and the elbow's dropping. So put your hand out like this, bend your arm like that, give the hand a little bit of a drop below the elbow, something like that. So we're going to start there. It's okay if your left hand's like touching the disc. You don't have to like keep it away. It's going to separate later. Okay, so from there, right step, left step without the turn, and then turn, all in one go. Yep. I should say that you don't want to start like already kind of favored back like this. We're just sideways, so kind of feet together like this is fine. With this position. Side step, there's a little bit of a stagger here to make sure that I don't run into my foot on this next step. Not turned yet, and now you turn and go back. Yeah. And I think your arm move is going to be kind of nice after you set up like that. So you're in a good spot. Just iron out that footwork. That's it. Just that little thing. All right. Well, that would be all of the form reviews for today. Ta-da! Started at 10, finished at noon. Exactly 2 hours. All right, friends. Again, our link to our Patreon, if you're interested in doing this yourself, or private lessons, is in the description below. Look out for our next Mikey series video coming up. It also, spoiler alert, has a slow-mo of pros during the distance competition, so you're going to want to watch that. Okay, peace.